President Muhammadu Buhari has assured Nigerians that he will be on ground to carry out his duties to Nigerians during the campaign period, emphasizing that governance will not suffer in any way. The president, who made the promise at the official inauguration of the All Progressive Congress Presidential Campaign Council in Abuja, added that his co-chairman Ahmed Bola Tinubu and the campaign organization DG Chubike Amechi will be on ground to steer the affairs of the campaigns.
Even though we have only 40 days, this campaign is going to tax us all, because we intend to touch all corners of our great and vast country. But I must also add that though we will all be deeply involved, I would like to assure the nation that I will do my part without making governance or my work suffer. Aswaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, my co-chairman, will be fully in charge and is going to be on 24-hour vigil. That is to say, the operational back of this campaign stopped at his table, and I therefore urge all of us in the leadership of this campaign, in the field operations, on the campaign trail, and in the secretariat, to consult with Aswaju whenever guidance is needed.
The president also used the medium to reiterate his commitment to conduct a free, fair and transparent election come 2019, as he has charged INEC and other security agencies to do everything possible to ensure this. In his opening remarks, Director General of the Campaign Council Chubike Amechi urged Nigerians to help President Buhari to consolidate on his achievements in the past 4 years by giving him another term in office.
That is the change that we promised. That is the kind of campaign that we led at the beginning. And that campaign, that change, is a gradual process. We cannot complete it in 4 years. If anybody says we can complete it in 4 years, that person must be a magician. What we are pleading with Nigerians is another 4 years to consolidate on what we have started. We are almost there.
Some stakeholders of the party also aired their views about the re-election bid of President Muhammadu Buhari.
It is significant that we are all here to show that the presidential spread in terms of the president's acceptability and influence is nationwide, is an unassailable image, unassailable influence, and unassailable acceptability. We are here to show that to the president and rally around him to victory.
As far as I know, in Oyo State, Mr. President will win Oyo State hands down over whoever. And who are the other candidates? Who are the opposition? Who are they?
For Delta in particular, he was there, he went to see traditional rulers, he went to see some of the youths, he went to see some of those that were involved in the crisis, and that helped significantly in managing the crisis. Apart from that, Mr. President also has done a lot in terms of infrastructure and human capital development in Delta State and across the Niger Delta.
Well, you can see for yourself that Nigeria is excited, and they have decided to vote APC to continue in government. And we from the southeast where I come from, we have also taken the same position. Reason being that the restoration program that the president started in this second term to be able to bring them to fruition.
And one of the things is that despite receiving the lowest amount of money in terms of revenue, Mr. President has done the greatest amount of work. There's nowhere in Nigeria where infrastructural development is not going on. Also, most important is that sanity is coming back to the system.
Whatever you do, somebody must raise question about it. That's our nature. We are not learning much about what we should know by now. The simple logic is that when there's a contest and one single person, there must be a winner and loser. Somebody must be there, somebody must wait for another opportunity. But we believe in grumbling, making noise, shouting where even there's nothing to shout about. I don't think we make all this such noise. Let's just go to the race with a clean mind, ready to do our best, to ensure that, yes, we did the right thing at the right time for this our great nation.
But the truth is that the campaign has already started. And, you know, the issues remain the same. We are looking for a government that will consolidate on the achievements that you can see that most of us have already attained. And that government has no other alternative than the Buhari or Shibaju government.
The All Progressive Congress Presidential Campaign Council is the umbrella body for all campaign organizations across the party. From Abuja, I am Festus Ejiroge Nefifen for Ben Television.
The Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) said it will Tuesday hold a nationwide protest to drive its demand for the upper review of the national minimum wage from 18,000 naira to 30,000 naira. The General Secretary of the NLC, Dr. Peter Ozo-Ezon, said the union never planned to go on strike on Tuesday, saying its action was misrepresented in the media. According to him, it has come to the attention of some of the section of the news media had largely misrepresented its action plan in reaction to the delay in transmitting the recommendation of the tripartite committee on the new national minimum wage to the National Assembly by President Muhammadu Buhari. He said the Congress immediately announced then that on Tuesday, January 8, 2019, there will be a nationwide mass mobilization and protest simultaneously across all states in the country, adding that this does not translate to strike. The federal government has reached an agreement with members of the Academic Staff Union of University, ASU. Addressing journalists in Abuja after a meeting with the striking lecturers, Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, said the majority of their demand have been met, including the release of 15.4 billion naira for the payment of salary shortfall. According to him, the federal government is also in the process of releasing another 20 billion naira for the payment of earned allowances for university lecturers. Meanwhile, the ASU president, Professor Biodun Ogunyemi, said the National Executive Committee of the Union will review their decision based on the new commitment by the government. According to him, it is only after that meeting that the union will announce its position on the ongoing strike action. It has been over 2 months since the union went on strike, following the alleged inability of the federal government to respond to its demand.
President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the sum of 161 billion naira as 2018 Tertiary Education Trust Fund intervention for public higher institutions in Nigeria. The Executive Secretary of that fund, Dr. Abdullahi Bichi, made this known in Abuja while briefing journalists on review and performance of the fund in the year 2018. He said the approved fund was the total sum to be utilized for the 2019 intervention activities in all the benefiting public tertiary education institutions in Nigeria.
First is to say that the fund is excited, very excited, because of a New Year gift from the President, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. Let me quickly unveil the nature of the gift. It is the approval of the TED Fund 2018 intervention guidelines of 161 billion naira, which represent the education tax collection for the year 2017. Obviously, this is yet another massive boost to the higher education institutions in our country, especially at a time when our country is just recovering from the worst recession in our history.
He urged entitled institutions to come to the fund's head office and collect their allocation letters, which, according to him, begins this week.
Each public university will get an allocation of 785 million naira, 833,700 naira only. 785 million naira, 832,700 naira only. Each polytechnic will get 536 million naira, 703,502 naira only. And each college of education will get an allocation of 510 million naira, 84,900 naira only. The detailed breakdown of the allocations will be released after the fund communicates the allocation letters to the institutions.
Over the years, TED Fund as an institution of government has helped in infrastructure and human capital development of the nation's higher institutions. In Abuja, LM Chukwemeka reports. As part of its effort to ensure free, fair, and credible elections in Nigeria come 2019, Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has presented the National Register of Voters to 91 registered political parties in the country. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu, while presenting the register to chairmen of political parties in Abuja, revealed the official number of registered voters across 36 states of the Federation and FCT.
Each party will have the complete National Register of Voters of over 84 million entries, arranged by state, local government, wards, polling units. What we are going to have today is the largest database of citizens in Africa and one of the largest databases of citizens and one of the largest databases of citizens in the world. Over 80 million entries. I will say a thing or two in my opening remarks, but I'm really overwhelmed by emotion to be the person to present to political parties in Nigeria this very, very vital record.
He reaffirms the Commission's commitment to ensure that the forthcoming election is free, fair, and credible.
As you would have noticed, the Commission has been diligently implementing the timetable and schedule of activities for the 2019 general elections. We have so far implemented 8 out of 14 activities. At this meeting, we have just implemented the 9th activity by publishing the register of voters for the 2019 general elections as required by law.
In Abuja, LM Chukwemeka reports.
As the presidential election inches closer, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, former Vice President and People Democratic presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar and the Senate President Bukola Saraki have held a crucial meeting in Lagos to perfect strategies for the election. The meeting came on the heel of the call by the PDP Presidential Campaign Organization on the General Abdulsalam Abubakar-led National Peace Committee, United Nations, and all the world leaders, saying there's no way there will be free and fair election because of the recent appointment of Mrs. Amina Zakari heading the collation of presidential election results. The over 3.5-hour meeting, which was held behind the closed door at Lekki, Lagos residence of renowned Southwest leader and Afenifere chieftain, Chief Ayo Adebanjo, are prominent politicians in attendance. Source at the meeting said it was a strategy meeting towards 2019 general election and how to give the country a fresh direction According to the source, the discussion is not just about the Southwest alone. It was a broad-based political arrangement that covered every part of Nigeria. It was a national thing. The basic concern is about how to give Nigeria a new lease of life by enthroning a leadership that will give the citizenry a better life. Former President Obasanjo has been the arrowhead among those opposed to the second-term ambition of President Muhammadu Buhari and has maintained a cordial relationship with some leaders across the country to actualize his determination. Apart from Obasanjo and Atiku, other present at the meeting were Chief Adebanjo, Saraki, Olubode George, former governor of Cross River, Senator Leo Imoke, National Public Secretary Afenifere Yinka Odumakin, and former university teacher and Yoruba leader Professor Banji Akintoye.